What's up, YouTube? Tonight we have with us CEO, founder, and the company, Dauntless Snacks. He's an awesome dude, and they make the finest meat sticks on the market. They're delicious, they're nutritious. You should really check them out. Jake and I both have. We absolutely love them. But tonight, let's talk about something else.
Oh,
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Let's Play Death Ray. I'm David.
I'm Jake.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Bill Birmingham, and I run Dauntless Snacks recordings out of Sacramento, California.
He nailed it.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, my God.
Look at that.
Anyway.
Is this PBS?
Yeah, it's
That's
definitely
some
PBS.
presentation
Yeah.
right there.
Okay.
This is
Well,
this
I'm
is where
going
we
to start drawing just a happy little bush back here.
go.
Happy trees.
That's right.
Happy trees.
No mistakes.
The
Only
happiest
happy
fucking
accidents.
trees.
Never knew.
Oh.
All right.
All right. So, yeah, we're gonna kind of ring this back in, and I do want to kind of go back to what we were talking about. Surprise for all of you that are just now viewing this. Technical difficulties are fun, and don't be a dingus. Anyways, going back to
Take
what
three.
we were just talking about before everything crashed, about the Veteranology podcast that you ran and things like that.
Line.
Did
Okay.
with that, it's great to hear about resources of veterans being able to help other veterans, for me at least, because I see it way too often where these guys come through where I work, which is way beyond. They needed help way before they got to me, because they weren't able to transition out and re-enter into society as regular citizens, as well as, not that society's all that great, but you get what I'm saying. And I
Right.
work in a drug rehabilitation center, so they try to self-medicate, and then that produces a problem, and then they end up with me. It's I'm always
Yeah, and I've seen it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always invested in things that can help and make the transition, I guess, easier or better. And so, I was wondering if you'd ever heard of any of I know there's, I'm trying to remember the name of the organization, but I know there was a big push in, trying out, there's a therapy called EMDR, as well as, immersion therapy to try to help with, PTSD and stuff for troops coming back. Had you ever, in your dealings, have you ever run across anything like that, or anyone dealing with that?
Yeah, I heard about it. I actually I took part in a study out of the University of Iowa. They were studying veterans from different eras,
Oh.
and they'd run you through a battery of the tests. And what I didn't understand was that the tests were meant to cause stress.
Mhm.
For me, I thought I was doing puzzles. But one of the things that I thought was interesting is they would put you in an MRI for this exam,
Right.
and they had a mirror here so I could watch a video while laying down, and they were watching my brain the whole time. But I had headphones on so that I couldn't hear it, and they would play 3 sets of 2 videos, and one video would be where you're watching something just mundane, like you're driving through traffic. I think it looked like Chicago to me. And then you're watching a snippet of video from Afghanistan where a bomb goes off, or it's Iraq and there's a firefight. And they're basically monitoring your brain and how you react to it, because for me, it was just I could tell I was getting aggressive because I wanted my side to win when I was watching the video. I honestly, I don't know what the results were for the whole freaking test or anything, but I was glad I took part of it. And they talked a little bit about some of that immersive therapy and stuff. When I got back, I did I would call it immersive therapy. I went through a terrible situation, and afterwards had survivor's guilt, and it was just what led me on my journey that I am in today. But like I think back to 21-year-old Jay, and like that kid was going through some shit.
Right.
And I wish I could go back and tell him, hey, everything's gonna be okay, bud. But he wouldn't listen. Fuck him. But and but the doctor, the way it worked is I would pat my legs back and forth like this with my hands
Hmm.
while recounting a situation, and something about how your brain internalizes rhythm or something
Mhm.
like that while you're talking helps you clear it out, so to speak, so that it's no longer just sitting there like a nugget always on the forefront of your brain. Did it help? I don't know. Did I do some self-medication with alcohol? You bet. I was a Marine. But I got out of the service, and honestly, the thing that helped me the most was being willing to talk about the shit that happened to me. And I don't know how much studying up on me you did, but like Packs to Packs, my cross country bike ride, where I went from Boston to Seattle to raise money for a children's charity. It was all in honor of like my buddy, Lance Corporal Johnny Strong, who died on my patrol. I used to not be able to say his name without breaking down.
Right.
And like that whole trip, I had to force myself to be able to tell his story because it mattered that he had something said about him. And so my advice to veterans is, if you go through that trauma, everybody's different. You don't have to listen to me, but if this works for you, talk about what you went through with trusted people. And then when you have and you know how to tell the story to yourself, tell it to the people that need to or deserve. Tell it to the people who like deserve to hear the story. But
Right.
your buddy or your friend, however you refer to him, your Marine, your soldier, your airman, your corpsman, your sailor, that they can't tell their own story. So I feel like there should be a willingness and, dare I say, duty to be able to tell a piece of their story.
Right.
I said this one time to a recon Marine veteran who, in the small town where I was at, had a reputation. He seemed like a cool guy. And, once he figured out I was a Marine, the beers started coming. And he asked me blah, 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 all this stuff. And he just said this thing like, well, they'll never fucking understand. And I've heard that before. And I heard it from a lot of Vietnam veterans when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That type of stuff. And I flat out told him, it's like, I don't think that's on us to really care if they can understand.
Right.
But the knowledge of what happened helps them determine future decisions. How do I react to veterans? How do I talk to veterans? Make sure I don't ever say that stupid question.
Right.
That type of thing. Like, being unwilling to talk means that you are unwilling to educate. You're unwilling to change things. And you're just like, it almost feels like, ugh, I'm settled with how things are. Leave me alone. And I'm not here to break down those walls. And that's not what Veteranology was either.
Right.
But it was just to show people there's other options besides holding it inside and letting it chew you up.
Right.
Anyway, sorry, I
No,
took that
no,
over.
no. Don't be. You're here to answer questions, and we want you to talk. That's the point.
I'm a talker, man. I'll take
Perfect.
this podcast over.
Hey,
That's fine.
Yeah, right. Less for me to do.
This episode's about you.
But no, that's so great to hear too, because so often, especially within military culture, I mean, it's bad everywhere, but within military culture, the idea of mental health and mental health help and things like that is so stigmatized still. It kind of
Right.
it has to come from somebody who understands. I think for a lot of these guys, in order for them to accept it.
So I've always been like, go, I want to do something, at
Right.
least since I got out of boot camp, because I just saw a world in front of me. Like when I was growing up, small town, opportunities were going to be limited. Not that I really cared about opportunities at the time, because like when I was growing up, nobody told me like, hey, you need to start really thinking about how you're going to make an income, idiot.
Right.
But like I went straight to the Marines after high school, and I read a book about business that really got me jonesing for it, and I was like, I can do this. Yeah, I would love to run my own business, blah, blah, blah. And so it's kind of been there ever since I was 19 on my first deployment. But where was I going with this? Line?
Here it is. Got ya.
No, sorry, I do lose track.
No,
That
you're
that
good.
is something. I have been hit by a couple IEDs, so I do get
Jesus.
jumbled up sometimes. But
Just a few.
something about growing up,
Yeah, you're talking about growing up and reading a book that
reading a
made
book,
you want
right?
to start your own business. So we were talking
Yeah.
about like mental health and mental help for
Mm-hmm.
guys who are getting out and in the military culture as well.
I'm sure I'll rewatch this and be like, oh, well, this is where you were going.
Yeah,
What
that's fair.
was your question? Let me see if I can go back that way.
I didn't really have a question. We hadn't gotten that
Oh,
far
I was
yet.
I was going off about something.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that's all right though. I do have a question to move into.
okay, yeah.
Though, from
Help
this.
me sound smart again.
Absolutely. Have you? 'Cause we talked a little bit about working with those folks. Have you had the opportunity? You mentioned doing.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay, perfect. See, here we go.
I'm sorry. You
No, go
don't
ahead.
forget what you were gonna say.
Nope, I got it.
But so when I first started to realize I needed to like get help and talk, I went to a vet center.
Okay.
And in the vet center were all these old Vietnam veterans who were like bracing themselves to like kind of have to go through all the shit
Right.
of like talking about what we went through in war.
Hmm.
But I had this guy, and great dude. I wish I could like send him an email because he did help me. But like, I remember he'd be like, "All right, man. Like, I just want to let you know, talking to you is one of the most exhausting things I have ever done." He's because you talk so quickly about what happened over there and how you're trying to get over it, and then you go over about 25 minutes of what you're doing and what you want to do. Because I would just talk about entrepreneurship, and I wanted to write a book, and I wanted to do this, and blah 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 blah. I'm going to college, and I'm learning this, and he'd just be like, "Fuck, just go do that shit." And so but you know, he wasn't like a professional psychologist. I think
Right.
he was a veteran in a vet center trying to like be there for people. And
Yeah.
you know, I wasn't necessarily using it probably appropriately. But when I did go finally get a therapist who could sit there and say, "Shut up about this thing, talk about that one thing," that's when I started to really kind of get help.
Okay. And it's always interesting because obviously people are so unique, and it's why therapy and the field that I'm in interests me so much, is because no two people are ever alike. There's tools and things that you can do to assist, but at the end of the day, no two people are ever alike. And
Right.
it's weird the things that click in our brains to help us process even something as traumatic as war and the things that happen in it, which I can even only imagine, never having fortunately to go through it. Have you ever worked with any of the organizations? I know you said you did your charity ride from coast to coast. Have you ever worked with any of the organizations outside of like the testing for the returning vets and things like that, or is that just something that you kind of done on your
So
own?
I got to do a little bit of advising in my role at my last company because the owner was on the board of directors for an organization called oh shit, hold on, Merging Vets with Players, MVP.
Okay.
And I think it's a well-meaning organization. Very hard to implement idea, but like the people who are doing it are, they've got the connections to make it work. But it's basically like you take the people that were in professional sports
Mm-hmm.
and veterans, and you have them work out together, and you have them talk about the difficulties of taking off the uniform.
Okay.
Novel, but and they were trying to do some really great stuff. I don't want to be dismissive of it. I'm
No, you're
actually
good.
later on this week having a meeting with the former executive director of that because he moved on to start his own charity, and I'm actually trying to help him do some charity stuff on Twitch.
That's
So
awesome.
anyway, again, always networking.
Right.
But there's a organization that I'm going to be raising money for. I'm on the board of directors for, called the Kirstie Ennis Foundation, KEF. And Kirstie Ennis is a Marine veteran. She was deployed to Afghanistan. She was a crew chief and a door gunner, and her helicopter went down. She ended up losing one of her legs. She's currently doing the 7 summits, where, I mean, she got within, I think, like 2,000 feet of summiting, maybe even closer, summiting Everest. She's got this video that I need to
Jeez.
post.
Damn.
But she's doing the 7 summits, which is to climb the tallest mountain in every continent.
Wow.
Right.
And she puts on clinics for people with disabilities, children with disabilities, and women, to have them come out and do kind of restorative, build your confidence up, do something fun therapy on snowboards and mountain bikes. And like, she's able to speak truth to pain because of how much she's been through.
Huh.
So a lot of stuff I'm working on. I wish I could say more about
No,
that stuff,
you're good.
but
I
like,
get it.
yeah, so those are the 2 organizations I've been mostly involved with. When I did the cross country bike ride, it was in honor of Johnny, but we were raising money for Child's Play charity, because one of
Okay.
the last things he ever said to me in a conversation we had, because we were 3 days apart in age, and this was about 3 weeks before he got killed. He said, I think I'm going to get out of the Marine Corps and I'm going to learn how to make video games. And so, like, I struggled with that for years, and then finally I was like, maybe I can attach him to it through doing some good.
Right.
And so we went from PAX East. We traveled 4,400 miles. We visited 24 children's hospitals. We raised $15,000 for Child's Play, and we ended at PAX Prime. And I actually have on video me and Denny, who did the bike ride. We got on stage at a megathon at the very end of the show,
Oh wow.
and we got to talk about that.
That's awesome.
Now that's gonna get me in the feels right there, real quick.
Fair. That's
I'm sure.
But that's so incredible that you were able to do that. Not only
I was the angriest, worst person in the world on that whole trip.
it doesn't exactly sound like the most fun trip in the world, but it's for a good cause.
Life
so-
changing.
Yeah, I
Certainly
can
type
imagine.
2 fun.
But I don't know, like charity work and all of that stuff, not only for veterans but also children and all that stuff, like that's a huge part of what we do and who we are at this channel too. So I could sit here and talk about different kids charities and veterans charities all day long.
It's good to know that I'm on a podcast that's not anti-charity.
That's fair. Look, well, except for Kyle, but no, I'm kidding, Kyle.
Just want to stress real quick how pro-charity we are. Hey, roll the footage.
Yeah, I got it. I'll just leave the room so you guys could shit talk me some more. Okay.
We
You're
would
welcome.
never
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No.
we do that to your
degrade
face, Kyle.
towards anyone who did not deserve it.
Yep.
Because we here.
He knows. Look, Kyle, it's like Jake said. We only would say it to your face. We're not the type of people to say it behind your back. There's no fun in it. But
gloat about it behind my back and then gloat about it in front of me.
correct. To kind of wrap back to some of my other talking points and to hopefully start going back to where my notes were.
Yeah,
before
sorry,
all the-
sorry.
No, you're fine. I do want to ask real quick, how long were you in the Marines, if you don't mind me asking?
4 out the door.
Okay. All right. I was curious. So, like I said, Jake and I, our families are all military. They're cousins and brother and pretty much everyone, but like even your dad was National Guard, wasn't he?
Yeah, briefly.
Right.
His story is a whole.
It's a whole thing. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
my dad and my grandpa were the only like men in our family who weren't military of some sort.
That's, my dad got a honorable discharge based on very shitty things that happened to him from other members of the military. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always curious to see. And then what, if you don't mind, again, what was your MOS?
Oh, I was a 0331 machine gunner.
Okay.
I served 2 tours with 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines Weapons Company. My first tour, I was a turret gunner most of the time, and then my second tour, I was a patrol leader and assistant patrol leader.
Yikes.
And I left the service as a sergeant.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you
That
for your
sounds
service.
about right. So, especially someone that's on hot track. for just to me, because most of the people I knew that just 4 years only made it to specialist and then got read up and then made it to sergeant.
Well, that's the Army, and no, never mind.
You can make it to sergeant in those 4 years. You just got to be literally on top of your shit.
I know, Kyle. I just tease all my Army buddies because almost all of them got out at specialist.
Well, yeah, the 4 years. Yeah.
Super special.
Exactly. That. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. Look. Anyways.
We all think we are.
Getting back on track again, because I'll derail myself a million times. It's just what we do.
And just keep attacking Kyle.
Yeah,
That's all I will
it's
do.
great.
Um,
What do you guys think of fig Newtons?
I'm a fan.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's great. I didn't derail it as much as I thought I would. You were right. You hit your cue perfectly. My God, what is he not prepared for? Let me try this again. What do y'all think about pool cues?
I don't have one of those.
those.
I got a bow staff. It's kind of the same. No, but no. What I was gonna ask is for the audience, how exactly or what exactly inspired you to start Dauntless Snacks and make the meat stick company?
So, when I'm going to give a little bit of backstory because it helps that I'm a little bit crazy
Okay.
in a good way. I got a Jeep Wrangler. I had wanted one since I was a kid, and I ended up buying one. I shouldn't have. There's no way, like budget wise, like it should have made any sense. But I bought one, and I love it, and I love it so much. But of course, I have it, and my boss came to me, and this was a few jobs ago, and he goes, "Jay, you really need to take vacation." And I said, "Okay, fine." And because I'm a workaholic, and I have to struggle with that because I'm always wanting to do the next thing.
Yep.
And I went into the mountains. I went out to a place called Glenwood Springs and relaxed, turned my phone off. It was great. Came back, and Hurricane Harvey had touched down, and I had no idea, but I've got a couple guys I served with who are in the Houston Police Department.
Okay.
And they were posting pictures on Facebook, and I remember just thinking, like, holy shit, the whole state of Texas is like underwater.
Right.
And I got buddies down there dealing with it, and I was just like, I called my boss. I said, "Hey, I'm going to extend my vacation. I'm going down to Texas to help out." So I went down to Texas, and I ended up meeting these ranchers who were down there. And long story short, we spent time on boats together. We went through neighborhoods. We made sure people had stuff. They actually, not us, but like, well, it was the same group, but it had nothing to do with me. I can't take any credit for this, but they actually found a quadriplegic who was stuck in their house.
Wow.
And they got him out of the house into a boat to a hospital. So like, just great people that I met. And then we split ways. We're like, yeah, I live in Colorado. You should come into the ranch sometime, blah, blah, whatever. I have no connection to farming whatsoever besides my dad being a John Deere engineer. And I've seen a cornfield quite a few times growing up. But they end up hitting me up. They say, "Hey, do you want to come hang out at the stock show?" We go to the stock show. We get drunk. They tell me they fired their marketing team. And I was just like, well, I'm doing this podcast. I've been in digital marketing for 5 years, mainly on the account management side. But I mean, I can do this. I'm just thinking to myself, like, I can do this. And they had an overwhelming amount of what they wanted to do when I finally got out there. And it was basically take this local ranch that's selling locally and let's figure out how to sell nationwide. Let's take on the big boys like Omaha Steaks. And like it was all on my shoulders. I'm working 14, 16-hour days, loving every second of it because it's basically me running the business. Now, eventually that ends up causing me to butt heads with the person at the top. But like I made that thing click and it went well. So then when I was like, hey, instead of doing just the frozen thing, we really need to move into product that we can have anywhere and do anything with. It needs to be able to go on top of a mountain so people think that's really cool. You can't take a steak to the top of a mountain very easily.
Right.
You can take a meat stick. So I told him, I said, let's get this started. So I did a whole year of product development on top of being in charge of marketing and running a marketing team and a fulfillment team and setting up all the supply chain and logistics. I'm getting heart palpitations just thinking about what I had to do that last year I was there. But when I left, I just told myself, I want to focus on helping another company do what I did, but more on my terms.
Okay.
And so when that got stripped away from me by COVID, and I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what the hell do I know how to do?
Right.
Because, you know, I'm not getting any younger. Yeah, I'll be honest, like, I was scared. A lot of times during 2020, I was scared. I was like, is this going to work? Do I know what I'm doing? But basically, I came to the conclusion, I know how to do this. I know everyone in the supply chain. I should just do this. So I know that was a very long story, but it's kind of like you have to realize like how I got there because like I ran this already essentially.
Okay.
Now I'm just doing it for myself and I don't have to deal with animals.
Fair. Interesting.
I let professionals do that.
Yeah,
Makes
best
sense.
way to do it.
Yeah. That's
Not that I was really out there doing much. I would go out there and actually help out with the animals sometimes, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I don't have.
You don't have to take
somebody
care of
else's
them.
problems. They're all my problems. And boy, when I wake up and like I tell myself, "Yep, these are all my problems," I get so happy.
God, that sounds
Fair
nice,
enough.
I'm not gonna lie. I, as a person who can very deeply understand dealing with other people's problems most of your time, yeah.
Yeah.
Be
Now I'll
great
be
if they were
honest, my
yours.
boss does not pay me shit right now, and
Right.
I think he's garbage. But
Well, look,
he's good looking.
Yeah, we just
Well,
tell him.
jury's out.
Don't tell him about it. Go straight to his
Yeah.
head.
I mean, I'm not jumping in bed with him. I mean, maybe
Well,
get ahead.
whatever you got to do, right?
Right.
So
I think I know
Gotta
how
get
he
that
likes it.
promotion.
Oh my God.
I think you're gonna have to report yourself to HR now.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's right. You're gonna have
What
to
did
have
you do?
You're gonna have to have a meeting with you, yourself, and you. Yeah. But with Dauntless, is there like, and maybe you don't want to say anything, and if so, that's totally understandable. Is there, I guess, an end goal or a big picture that you're shooting?
I thought you were gonna
for?
say something funny, like, "Is there a Mrs. Dauntless?"
No.
Mm.
I try not to get too personal. You know, the first date. That's like second date
Right,
question.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you don't want to go on a first date with me.
We're already here.
Yeah. I didn't even need to know your name.
No one ever
Anyway.
does.
Yeah, no, I mean, death ray,
Yeah, exactly.
plasma ray.
Yeah,
There you
something
go.
like that.
Nailed it.
Which one of you is actually named Ray?
None of us.
We all are.
What?
What a waste of marketing. Somebody change your name. Take advantage of it. Anyway, so
All right,
my
Jake,
plan
you're
for
now Ray.
Dauntless-
Yep.
All right,
Hmm.
great. It's been determined.
We'll make it official.
Sounds like an extra life stretch goal to me.
Right. I am an ordained minister, so I'm pretty sure I can change your name.
Yeah, that's
whenever I
definitely how
want.
that works.
Yeah. That's one of those
Only
responsibilities
thing
for
you
sure.
need.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So my plans for Dauntless, my 5-year plan is to become the official, unofficial snack company of Twitch.
Okay. That's awesome.
Beyond 5 years, like it's a fun exercise, and I think you all should do this, and everybody in the audience can do this, is think back to 5 years ago where your mind was and what you cared about. And would you have any idea that you would be sitting here 5 years later? And the answer is gotta be no. You have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. Like, I didn't know 2 weeks ago that you would call me and have me do 3 versions of a podcast.
Right.
I didn't know. But that's what ended up happening. So, but like, think back 5 years. And so, like, I say, hey, this is my 5-year plan. Honestly, again, with the whole idea behind, you have no idea what doors are in front of you until you open the first one. Like, I'm just going to keep opening doors. That's the plan.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. And I will say, because it's not in this recording, it was in the one that got messed up. You guys have to try the meat sticks. If you eat meat,
Kyle,
you
What
have to try these.
What
Kyle
are you
did
talking about? I don't know
not.
what
We
you're talking
ordered
about.
some, and Jake
What?
and I ate them, and we both signed
What are
off
you
on
talking
them.
about? I have no idea what you're talking about. It's not like
Kyle-
I'm trying to order him right now.
Kyle refused.
That's right. Kyle
Working on a
refused to
second
eat
flavor right now, too.
them. Oh,
Ooh.
so that was going to be one of the things I was going to ask all on the podcast was if you
Well, let's
plan
not
to-
jump ahead.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, that's awesome. 'Cause I was wondering if you had plans to like branch out to different. Not that your original recipe is not freaking delicious.
I know it's not good enough, and you told me several times before we got on the air.
Look, you know what? It's not recorded, so we can't prove it. But
Right? Yeah, like so much of the show.
yeah. It's not like this is our second, third, fourth attempt, right?
Right. I mean, it's only your 15th episode.
Yeah. Numbers are hard. Look, I do apologize to you and to everyone
It
viewing
happens.
this for all the I upgraded microphones recently, and I had to change the entire audio setup, and I thought I had everything good. Apparently, I had it set up just for solo and not for this stuff, so that is on me. I apologize. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't. Look, my heart can't take it. Anyway,
You know, it's good for your heart. Another beef stick.
that's right. Always another
Right.
beef stick.
I
Yeah.
think at one point I was making a joke about how you gentlemen each need to buy 100. That
100%.
got lost to the ether.
It did.
I'm not a doctor,
did.
but my recommendation is go buy 100 meat sticks. Thank you.
Yeah. But he plays a doctor on TV,
I do.
or at least on Twitch.
Like an instrument.
Yeah. But yes, go check it out, guys. Dauntless Snacks. Also follow him on Twitter, because that's where I found him, and Twitter's good. That's all. That's my.
I'm
deep
having
insight
fun.
there.
You guys are great.
We try. This is a ton of fun. We appreciate you coming on, and I had like 3 sets of notes, so it's kind of funny that we had 3 iterations of this because I didn't know exactly, like, until we brought you on, how you kind of saw your connection and relationship to Dauntless and what it was and how you wanted to present that to people. So when you introduced yourself and said, "I am Dauntless Snacks," that was perfect. That made me click, and,
Well,
and
it's
it made a lot of sense.
It's a labor of love because one of the missions that, like, I don't write down, it's not official, but it's in my heart, and I said it like this is the secret mission of Dauntless, is if I ever saw my nephews eating any of the snacks that I make and it brought me shame, then I made the wrong snack.
Right.
So, like, it has to be nutritious. I mean, the whole idea behind Dauntless was we are making food for people who are the creators, the dreamers, the streamers, and the adventurers out there. Because when you are up at 3 a.m. getting ready for a podcast that you have to do 3 times, you are like, you're stressed and you're putting in effort, and it's very easy to go grab a pop.
Yeah.
I'm from the Midwest. We say pop, and that's how it's going to be. But you could go get a pop. You could go get Oreos. You could go get Fig Newtons because they're right next to your desk. It's so easy to go grab those sugary treats. And I wanted to say, hey, everybody, actually, you can get a very nutritious
Right.
beef stick that, like, it's going to power you through. These aren't meant to be meal replacements.
Right.
Like, this is a snack to get you to your next meal. This bridges the gap. You know, if you eat too many of these, your tummy's gonna hurt because
Right.
if you eat too much of anything, your tummy's gonna hurt. It's
Right.
not a miracle cure. It's not the best snack in the world. But like I love cookies,
Right.
and I'm gonna pick a cookie most of the time. But I shouldn't be, and I should be eating these sweet sticks.
Right. That's I was curious because I did see like your early on posts about gaming and snacks on Twitter, and so I was curious if you had plans to make like even more gamer specific stuff in the future.
Yeah.
Or okay.
I mean,
Uh,
first phase was get well, actually, the first phase was phase 0, which is if you can't sell $10,000 worth of something, just quit. We already did that, so
nice.
I'm like, great, let's just grow.
Hell yeah.
And so now it's like I had the MVP, the minimum viable product,
Mhm.
and after the original, it was just like talking to the audience, be like, hey, what flavors do you like? Oh, spicy, sweet, spicy, sweet, spicy, sweet. Okay, well, perfect. We're gonna do a spicy. We're gonna do a sweet. So the first phase is 3 flavors of beef stick, 100% grass-fed beef, sugar-free as much as possible. But when you get a sweet stick,
Right.
you're gonna get a little sugar, and you know what you're buying. Like I'm not sitting here telling you that like, hey, there's no sugar in this. It's like, no, if you got honey barbecue, it's gonna be a little sweet. Deal with it.
Right.
Right.
Now, next is I ran into a lot of creators that I reached out to. I said, hey, I like your stream. This is cool. Could we work together? And they say, do you do anything vegetarian? And I'm just like, nope. So like I went back and I have a friend who's vegan, a very good friend of mine who's vegan, and like I want to be able to make snacks that they can enjoy.
Right.
So we're going to be doing some snack mixes. I have a connection through a connection, always networking, to somebody who does business development for one of the largest importers of organic nuts and fruits in the United States.
Damn.
So, working on getting some snack mixes put together. It's a little bit easier because I don't have to deal with the USDA. That's FDA for that.
Right.
USDA controls everything that has to do with beef and anything agricultural.
Yeah.
Food and drug is food and drug. So,
Drugs.
that way you don't spend as much time in development getting your labels checked off. But
Right.
anyway, so after that, next phase of snacks, so phase 3 of snacks is go back to proteins, and then we're going to do pork, chicken, turkey.
Nice.
So for pork, it's going to be like a, I don't know, pepperoni or bacon or something like that, something porky. And then like chicken or
Porky.
turkey, one of those is going to be, I'm calling it right now, habanero something.
Ooh.
And I can't wait for that. I don't want to jump the gun.
Right.
Everybody forget I said that because the next one's jalapeno. That's what you should be excited about.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. One thing at a time. But that's
Right.
I love talking to other people who are passionate about the things that they do and are able to look that far down the line of what they want to do. And I hope absolutely, especially after tasting the first round of stuff, man, like that this takes off and continues for you. It's
Well, thank you.
it's great stuff, and I'm always interested when real gamers actually start marketing towards gamers and actually start being involved in that process, because there's a lot of companies that are gamer driven that paid some dude an absurd amount of money to go play some games once, and that's all
Right.
that's all that company really did.
They hired Ninja for a day.
That's right. Yeah, they hired Ninja for a day.
That's what they all do.
Right.
I mean,
And we're getting ready to hire Ninja over here at the Dauntless Snacks
oh,
Studios.
see, there you go. You got it made.
There you go. Big leagues.
That's right. Phase 5 sell out, right? Like,
yeah. Heel underpants, something, sell out. No, so Apex, right?
Right.
I love Apex. I've been a gamer since I wandered downstairs for the first time by myself and found my older brother's Nintendo. And been playing Mario. That was the first game I ever played. It was Mario Brothers. And gaming has been a part of my life. I'm a big proponent, at least back in the before times, of getting people to a table and playing tabletop games.
Yes.
IGM,
Oh, yes.
IGM for Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, I love it. Ah, gosh, I could talk forever about it. But games are a way to connect with people, and it was how I, as a 6th grader who was getting picked on all the time at school, I would go home and play EverQuest. I don't recommend playing EverQuest or any other MMO as a 6th grader, but what I ended up doing was interacting with people and learning how to banter and learning how to socialize. And I literally translated it to making friends again as a young man. And you know, when people when people badmouth video games in front of me, I always bring up that, and I bring up Civilization.
Right.
Because nothing has made me hungrier to read about history than
Yeah.
Civilization. But Apex, when I launched the Kickstarter, I was so excited about launching the Kickstarter. I was like, I got to put this energy somewhere. I'm going to play some Apex. And there were 2 randoms that I was talking to that had mics, and I was just like, guys, I just need to say this. I launched my Kickstarter. Those 2 guys were the first 2 people to be in my Kickstarter.
That's
to back
awesome.
We're 2 randoms on Apex.
Dude.
That
And
rules.
you know, now whenever I play, I give a coupon code out to people I play with, and it's gamed with the CEO. And people see that and they lose it. They're just like, wait, you're running a company? Like, you're not just like pulling our leg. And they'll be like, oh shit, I just Googled this. Is this real? And it's so cool to be that company who's actually a real gamer trying to make something for the community in which you're a part of.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. Because so many people are looking for a way to twist and use Twitch rather than integrate and become a part of it. And there's so many diverse communities and amazing corners just of Twitch, not just the internet, but just of Twitch, that it's nice to see someone who actually wants to be a part of it rather than use it.
And I can't wait to take this mask off and sell out.
Well, look, I mean, you know, patience.
Absolutely.
Hey, yeah, no, I have to wait. Nope.
But also, by the way, that I've never caught any of the streams where you've done that. That idea with the coupon code and with randoms, that is amazing and brilliant. Also, you should put clips of that on TikTok because that stuff does amazing.
Well, the problem is I'm never working fast enough to like get clips, and I game until 2 a.m. and the last thing I want to do at 2 a.m. is just be like, let me go find that clip.
Oh, don't you worry. All right, look, I can set you up with that. I can help you out with that because I'm also a lazy creator. I don't do anything that isn't easy, so yeah,
right.
no, I can set you up
Well, you
with
hire
that.
lazy people because they'll find the easiest way to do things.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Which is why I have these 2. No, I'm just,
No,
no. To be fair, Jake is part of the founding. This doesn't exist without Jake.
I'm just the add-on.
That is true. That is true. We
Hey, man.
somehow chose him.
On my screen, you're holding me up, and I appreciate that.
Oh, that's funny. That's great. So do you intend to? Because I know we've talked already in one of the previous go-rounds about you streaming as Dauntless Snacks on Twitch. Do you think as things grow and as you continue, is that something you want to continue to do, even if the company explodes? Or
If the company explodes,
as in a positive
if
way,
the company
not melts down.
I know. If the company, I was going to try to make a joke, but then I was just like, no, I really want to answer this. But like, if the company continues to grow, I've already, like you saw, I made a J Knight Twitter to be the CEO of Dauntless. I'm barely going to use that right now. It is there for in the future when I know when I bring somebody on. It's not going to be like anything crazy. I've already decided in how my company is structured that 10% of profits is going to go to employees, and how that's compensated and everything. I don't know. I have never run a company where I've had employees, but like the idea is that if you're a part of this, we are going along this together.
Right.
And so Dauntless is us
Right.
now once somebody comes on board. And honestly, I feel like Dauntless is already us because of my community,
Mhm.
my partners, and my audience. So Dauntless Snacks, while it is me, it's because I am consciously trying to make sure that it's us.
Right.
And like, yes, I'm the guy at the rudder right now, but I want my employees to be able to stream for Dauntless Snacks, because if they have a love for what we're doing, they should share it. And I want to. I don't get out of this world alive.
Right.
I don't get to take anything with me. I don't even get to keep this beautiful mug. Like it's gonna go away. And
You might
so
keep
like
that.
what was that from the
You
peanut
might
gallery?
You might keep that. You might.
Come with this. But I've seen in my life, I've lived a charmed life with everybody I've met, who I've spent time with. I have lived in a Hollywood mansion, and I have dug holes for myself to sleep in Iraq. I have been on both spectrums of what the hell is going on with my life.
Right.
I have met a lot of unhappy rich people,
Yeah.
and honestly, I'm not making any money off this business right now, because every single little bit of money that I make goes right back into the business.
Right.
And I'm living off savings. I'm living off doing odd jobs. I'm trying to pick up marketing stuff. But what I'm trying to get across is like, material
Mm.
is fleeting.
Right.
Even when you're still alive, material is fleeting. When you become 80 and you can no longer pick up that golf club,
Mm.
like, you have to understand everything that you have in life is something that is fleeting, and be grateful that you have it, but don't get attached to it.
Right.
And so for me, like, yes, Dauntless is my thing. I'm building it. But like, as I bring people onto it, I want them to be able to safely take some ownership of it. I don't
Mhm.
want somebody to work 10 hours when they should be working 8.
Right.
Like, I have my philosophy with how to run business, and it would
Hmm.
probably take another hour to talk about it. But those are my general ideas, is take care of the people to your left and right.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, at the end of your life, you will have nothing but people to your left and right if you've done things correctly.
Right. No, that's admirable, and it's very in line with some of the belief systems that we were taught, and the way that my grandfather and my father imparted things, and it's what makes, I think, this type of thing so appealing to me. Jake and I have talked a lot about, we started this with the goal of creating something that is Rooster Teeth-esque, in that, not that we necessarily want to be that big or anything like that. That would be great, but the plan has always been to create Let's Play Death Ray as a brand as well, to bring other creators, because one of the big things that we always preach is couch co-op. Because when we were creating this, like, we gamed growing up together all the time, and now you almost can't. So many
Right.
games.
It's gotten better.
It has gotten better, admittedly, but especially when we were establishing
Yeah.
Let's Play Death Ray at the very beginning, couch co-op had basically gone away. And it actually led to kind of one of our big ideas, where we take single player games and we add our own little twisted rules to them and make it a multiplayer game. It's a whole thing. It's crazy. But that,
Nightmare.
yeah, it is kind of sometimes. But I think that kind of drive and the desire to actually impart something that you have a desire for, a passion for, and a belief in to other people, and to get them involved in a meaningful way, is not only an admirable trait, but it's something that's missing from so many places in the world right now, including in this space on Twitch. So many people are just me, and that's fine if that's who you are, but I can't. I used to do sales. I could do the shady, markety, like, follow for follow, empty, hollow bullshit all day long, but it wouldn't mean anything.
That's why I've just been so happy with how my stream has grown.
Mm.
Like, I've got like 200 some followers. We just crossed the 200 mark
Nice.
like a week ago. But like, those people show up.
Right.
and it's not something empty. And people come and go and all this other stuff, but like with my social and with Twitch, like I have some PTS
Mm,
from the last job I had, which was if the number's not bigger, fuck you.
mm,
And to me, I get to engage with my audience. I
right.
get to engage with other streamers like I'm doing right now. And that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Like that's what it's all about for me. That's what it's all about for the business. And if I can't hang out with people who are doing this, um, because I'm too busy or something, then I've kind of lost touch with what this is.
Right. Yeah. No, you got to keep the people in Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
that's,
treat them well.
yeah.
Treat people well.
Oh,
Because you
100%.
can't get away with being vapid. Well, you can.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase this. As much as you can with Instagram. Instagram marketing, you have 2 milliseconds to
Yeah.
get somebody's attention. And that person doesn't care about you. You have a second for them to think, is that cool? Do I want to interact?
Right.
With Twitch, you have somebody that's live for 4 to 5 hours,
Yep.
and they're talking with their chat, and chat has to behave, the streamer has to behave,
Right.
and everybody, it has to be a community or the whole thing fails.
Yeah.
Instagram doesn't need a community. Facebook
Hmm.
has community, but it doesn't have the ability to like keep people working together. It's all just noise.
Right.
And Twitter, I think, is so popular with Twitch personalities because it's conversational,
Right.
and they're so used to having conversations while they're live. It just filters back over to Twitch. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on the social marketing aspect of that.
Makes
No,
sense.
I think you're exactly right, and that's kind of how I treat all those because I see it the same way. That's why I gravitate so much to Twitter because there is engagement and there's value and there is purpose, and it's not outside the norm for me to just randomly put a thought on Twitter because that's what Twitter's for, and it's just like me saying it to chat. Whereas if I were to just randomly tweet out like I can't think of anything funny right now, but
Felt cute, might delete later.
yeah, exactly. If I just randomly put that on like Instagram or Facebook with no context, no photograph or anything like that, that doesn't. People are just gonna look at it like, what the fuck? Who cares?
Right, but that's what those platforms are for.
Right.
Is short bursts of trying to get someone's attention. It's just dopamine, dopamine, dopamine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We love our dopamine on Twitch.
Dopamine, never heard of her.
God damn it, Jacob. All right. So, do you guys have any other questions?
Just one. That's
Yeah.
a small thing. Where in the Midwest are you from? Because you brought it up multiple times that you grew up in small town Midwest.
Not the smallest of towns, but I'm from a region called the Quad Cities. I lived right on the Mississippi River on the Illinois side in a small town called East Moline,
Okay.
but it's a part of a
Okay.
larger kind of like it's a I think when I was growing up, I used to hear people say like it's the largest metropolitan area in like such and such amount of space that doesn't have an actual downtown because it's just a conglomeration of cities that grew up around the Arsenal Island and then all the factories that were there, John Deere, Case IH,
Right.
Alcoa, like the whole area is just nothing but manufacturing. And so, or at least it used to be. Things have changed. Obviously, John Deere's still there, but yeah. So my dad was an engineer. I grew up thinking that I was going to get into some type of engineering because that was all I had around me. I wanted to be an architect of all things,
Wow.
and I hate buildings. So I don't even know why I was trying to do it.
That's fair.
But yeah, so I'm from Illinois. I claim Illinois. I do sometimes miss Illinois. But as I traverse east in for any reason, my blood pressure goes up. and my anger level just seemingly starts to just get higher. So I just never want to go back home. I left for a reason.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
That's fair. Yeah.
I went to but I graduated from Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, and I lived in St. Louis for a couple years. There's some great places to live in the Midwest, and honestly, like with the way the housing prices are going, I might have to do something like that. But you know, I'm gonna hold out for as long as I can. If Dauntless takes off, like after I sell out and I don't have to talk to any of you anymore,
Right. Yeah.
like maybe I'll be able to afford a 1-bedroom apartment in Denver.
Yeah. See, there you go. Denver is
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, Denver's rough.
Ugh. Also,
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much more of a I used to handle big cities without too big of a like I hated it, but I could deal with it. I didn't realize how much more introverted I'd become after COVID until I drove in downtown Denver here recently, in a crew cab full size truck. By the way, bad idea.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
No, yeah. Oh my, I hated it. I hate it. I hate it. I will not go back to downtown Denver.
You know what's funny is like every time I'm downtown, I had the exact opposite. I'm just always thinking like, you know, if I didn't have Grunt, I'd live down here.
Really?
Yeah, I like being around people nowadays. Like now on my terms, obviously. But
The people don't bother me.
I've been to New York and I loved it.
Really?
I think New York City is so freaking cool.
I think I would freak out in New York because what does it for me and what did it and what really set me off down there is how close the vehicles are. The people, once we got out of the vehicle, once we were parked, once we were in the places we were visiting, people didn't bother me. People, I love people. I know, Jake, people terrify you. But like if we
Just
added
in large groups.
Yeah, if we added 2
4
more
or more.
people to this Discord, he would freak out. But it's going behind the skyline, or going behind the skyscrapers, and not being able to see out past. And maybe it's because I've lived in Wyoming for so long, and I can see 800 miles. But yeah, the minute like I couldn't see the horizon or anything, and the skyscrapers were around me, I couldn't do it. No. I had to.
I guess when I'm actually when I'm in a city, what I'm thinking about is the majesty of human engineering that went into making everything around me. Because again, it goes back to playing the civilization game, right? Like, look at everything that we've accomplished, and maybe this is the last thing I get to say in the podcast, but it's just like things can always seem worse than they are, but always just remember that there's just good people out there working on solving big problems. And if history be our guide, humanity is really freaking good at solving problems.
Don't give me perspective. I don't want to like Denver. Come on now. No, that's amazing. That's
as introverted as I am, I actually really like being in big cities. I have the exact opposite reaction of you, by the way. I cannot stand. It's one of the reasons I actually don't like that I live in Wyoming. I cannot stand being able to just see for miles. That kind of freaks me out.
I love it.
Well, it's because when you're an introvert in a crowd, you're just a number. You're not on display. You're just in a crowd. At least that's what I think. I mean, I have introverted tendencies. I'm probably 60% intro, 40% extro. But yeah, like I've always felt like when I'm in a crowd now, it's like, well, I'm just here. Like nobody's focused on me.
I mean, it's so
Even
situational for me.
As beautiful as I am. But
yeah, everyone is just staring at you, obviously. But
clearly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
He's got the biggest screen.
I say this thing. I love pretending to be vain. And I would say this to people at work that didn't necessarily know me that well, but like knew me through other people, and I'd just be like, you know, you would talk with a customer and whatever, and you get done, and be like, oh, I think that went well, and I was like, yeah, but I kind of feel bad. And then like, well, what do you mean? And it's like, well, can you imagine going your whole life, and you're you, and then you meet me, and then you have to go back to being you?
Oh, that might be the TikTok. Anyways, I mean, no, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Don't snack entrepreneur. Fuck everyone else. More at 10.
No, that's great. That's a whole nother topic that I won't launch into though, because I could keep going on big cities and crowds because I'm super weird about it. Just from all of my time in security and all of that, like,
I did security in St. Louis.
oh, dude, fuck St. Louis. No offense. I have met some of the greatest people in my life in St. Louis, but I hate that city. But
You
I
gotta
have.
hang out with me, man. I'll take you to the right spots. We'll get some pho.
Oh, dude, I love
You'll just
pho.
be like,
Oh, so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, we'll go to South Grand. We'll get real fucked up on food.
I'm okay with this. This sounds great. To be fair, I would like that. I would give it a second chance because every experience I have in St. Louis has been negative. So it'd be nice to have something like the best.
Is that because you're not a Cardinals fan and the Cardinals just destroy everyone?
So look, I'm not a Cardinals fan, mostly because I'm not a baseball fan. So the only team I root for is my grandfather's, which is the Rockies. And I lived in Missouri, and they did not like the fact that I didn't like the Cardinals or catfish. But that's, ugh.
Hey, Jake.
Yeah.
I just want to say, you are the best hype man for this podcast. Because I've been looking at you this whole time, mesmerized by how much you just love everything that I've said, that anyone else has said. You're like, this is the best thing I've ever done or listened to in my life. And I just want to say thank you because you've made me feel better about myself. Look at that face. He's just like, I love this.
The face, and then
I'm easily amused.
and
You're
then the
so
body
happy.
laugh.
Yeah.
He'll start shaking when he starts really laughing. It's
I mean,
great.
when we get off the air, I want you to tell me what you have because I want some.
Speaking of Jake, though, it's actually that time to go to Shenanigans.
Oh yeah, we're doing a game.
We sure are.
Yup.
Since
love
the
games.
audio is not fixed, don't worry about the drop. I will get that for next week. But go ahead and launch into what you're gonna do here, Jake.
We're freeform tonight.
That's right.
Okay. Well, as a jerky connoisseur yourself, I wanted to test both your knowledge of, your competition, all the jerky brands out there, and of course, I also wanted to test your knowledge of beloved 90s comedy group, the Jerky Boys. So today we're going to be playing Jerky Boys or Jerky Brand. It's a very simple game.
This is amazing.
I have a bunch of track titles from Jerky Boys albums, and I have a bunch of actual jerky brands. And your jobs are just going to be to tell me, is it a jerky brand or is it the Jerky Boys? And then we'll just go through in turn order. And you guys can take your guesses, and we will go ahead and start with you as our guest, Jay. So, field trip. Jerky Boys or Jerky Brand?
Brand.
Correct, that is a brand.
I just supplanted them at a store.
Yes.
That is awesome. And it's already going much better for someone than last week's did, where I think the winner had 2 points total.
Yeah. Apparently, I guess better at Disney stuff than anything else.
But David, going to you, is Hucklebuck from the Jerky Boys, or is it a Jerky Brand?
Jerky Boys.
Correct, that is from the Jerky Boys. David is on the board as well.
Great.
No pressure.
You got this.
Well,
Hey, you got this.
believe in yourself, Kyle. And tell me, is Oberto from the Jerky Boys, or is it a Jerky Brand?
It's a brand.
Correct. It is one of the biggest brands on here, and I wanted specifically for you to get it because you got no points in the last game.
Well, thanks, Jake.
You're welcome.
I should have guessed band.
Okay, well, back to you, Jay. Is Matador from the Jerky Boys, or is it a Jerky Brand? You fucked me up, Kyle.
It's a brand.
It is a brand.
I actually remember
2-0.
doing market research on them.
Okay, I thought you might have an advantage in this one because of that.
Yeah.
It is proving true.
I mean, he probably researched
I-
all
I-
of his competition.
Honestly, like there was a box I could have pulled out like 2 weeks ago. I ended up throwing them all away of just wrappers of all the jerky and stuff that I've eaten.
Nice.
Okay. Fair.
And if anyone else ever said that, that would be weird. But for me, it's
Yeah.
normal.
Well, it's all about context.
Got to taste the competition.
So I'm just going to clip that without the context. And so
Right, right. It's not even
enough.
my voice. You just dub something in.
Magic.
Jake does that a
Uh,
lot.
Well, David, on to you. BAM, spelled BAMM. Is that Jerky Boys or a Jerky Brand?
Brand.
Incorrect. That comes from the Jerky
Oh,
Boys.
damn. All right.
All right, Kyle, Silly Foods. Is that a Jerky Brand or does it come from the Jerky Boys?
Band.
Did you say band or brand, Kyle?
Band.
Okay. It is also very confusing because they are not a band.
No, they're not.
They're comedians, but I'll take that to mean the Jerky Boys, and that is correct. It is a Jerky Boys sketch. Back to you. Is Perky Jerky a brand, or is it a Jerky Boy skit?
I mean, they're out of Colorado.
Yeah,
Brand.
they sure are. Come on, Jake. Even I knew that one.
They had to reformulate because they couldn't do what they were trying to do.
I didn't know that.
I
Because
mostly. Go ahead.
No, they did. They tried to put like taurine and
Mhm.
stuff in the jerky to make it like an energy jerky.
Yep.
And like the I think it was the USDA came down and was like, nope, you're not screwing around.
They I actually knew about that stuff because a bunch of dudes from Colorado came to an airsoft event here in Wyoming, and they had it on them. And I have tried it. It is not phenomenal, but it did its job.
I mean, it's jerky.
Yeah.
I had never heard of it before. And I mostly just picked ones that kind of sounded the same as titles of Jerky Boy sketches.
Fair.
And David, we are back to you. Is Old Trapper a Jerky brand or a skit from the Jerky Boys?
It's a brand.
It is, in fact, a brand.
Yeah.
The gas station staple.
Yeah.
Yes. That one I was familiar with.
That is the road trip classic. All right.
Kyle.
Hi, Chico.
Is Pablo Honey a Jerky brand or from the Jerky Boys?
I'm gonna go with Jerky Boys. It's a skit
It-
from them.
It is a skit. And David is the only one to miss a question so far.
Hey. It's because I won last week. I'm giving you an advantage.
Yeah,
Whoa, whoa,
we've only
whoa,
got
whoa.
3 left. You've got 1 each. So it could all come down to this. Jay, is Uncle Freddy's a Jerky Boy sketch or a brand?
Jerky Boy sketch.
You are 100%. That is
Yeah.
correct.
Damn.
David.
Just for that, I'm going to create that brand.
There you go. There you go.
Because that sounds like a really spicy meat stick brand.
It does, right? Not
It's
gonna lie,
spicy.
that was the title that made me go, this game could work. David,
Yeah.
is Urban Cowboy a jerky brand or a sketch from the Jerky Boys?
Sketch.
Incorrect. That is a brand.
Not a brand I've ever heard of.
Fair. And that just leaves you to see if you can tie this up, Kyle.
Yep, let's see.
Is Slant Shack a jerky brand or a Jerky Boy sketch?
Land Shack?
Slant Shack.
I'm gonna have to go with Skit.
Incorrect. Jay is the
Oh!
big winner. That is a jerky brand.
I would have said skit.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I believe I found that one on a list of worst jerky brands. If I'm not mistaken.
course.
That-
Of course.
That's the jerky you don't want to be. All right. Well, Jay won his game. I mean, he knows his jerky, guys.
Yeah,
And
and his jerky boys.
who were the jerky boys?
That is a fair question,
Weren't the-
David. They were the ones who did. It was all like crank calls was like the
Oh,
format of like all
yeah.
their sketches.
I know their stuff. Okay. I just
Yeah,
didn't
have
realize-
not listened to them since like the late '90s, but just having read through their titles, I can tell you probably doesn't hold up very well.
That's fair.
Yeah, they
pretty
did
problematic.
that. Didn't they do that thing? I'm gonna come to your house and kill you. No, just kidding. And like, I think that was them. And
Yeah.
that wouldn't hold up very well.
Yeah.
no.
I don't think
Yeah.
anything in the '90s holds up very well.
Not
Just
a lot.
reading the titles as like, boy, like half of this is openly homophobic, huh? And that's
Like
without listening
maybe
to it.
are you afraid of the dark? That's it. Everything else, get rid of it.
Yeah. There's. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that was like.
So there's a whole nother show of things from the '90s that offend people.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the late 90s that like it was technically born in like 99 but it came out in 2000, so we can keep that stuff, but all right.
Not a lot of it.
So but anyways, moving on to the next segment. First of all, we have to give everybody this warning. I think for legal reasons at this point. The disclaimer is that Kyle's Chaos Corner does not reflect the views and opinions of Let's Play Death Ray. We do not control, nor are we aware of what he's gonna do.
Oh shit! Okay, this is that bad. All right.
It can be. Sometimes it's like jerky. Sometimes it's super spicy. Sometimes it's mild.
Yeah, but there's not a huge disclaimer on it.
Well, you just haven't
You're
made
probably not going to like this jerky.
All right, well, let me grab out my contract and let's renegotiate this.
Right.
All right, Kyle, take it away.
Sadly, there is nothing.
What? I hate you so goddamn much.
Nothing?
Oh, well, there's some snacks I wanted to know if you knew where in the world they came from.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not. You can't say there's not. I hate you.
There's nothing.
I hate you.
I mean, look, that'd be chaotic.
I told
No,
you
I
last
thought
time.
this was the part of the show where you tried to dig up something from my past, and you were like, "No, there's nothing. This man is perfect. He's clean."
No.
No, he doesn't do research. Come on now.
Yeah.
He was.
I
in
usually
the
try
army.
to think about.
I can talk slower.
Let me go get some crayons. For you,
Sorry,
buddy.
sorry. I
Let me-
can
Hey,
talk
Thor. Hey, David. Where's your kids?
lower.
Where's Thorin's crayons for you? I want to give them to them. They're the perfect snack for a Marine.
Best fucking snack. You'd
Yeah.
be surprised how
great
many I
one?
can sneak into a meat stick.
Yeah, hey, look, whatever it is, the red flavor, best.
Jake loves this.
Oh, it's grape.
All right, Kyle.
Happiest person on this podcast. Just
Oh, man.
cannot stop smiling. Are you crying, Jake?
Yeah.
You're
It's,
so
the veneer of happiness fading away, starting to break through.
Oh my god, this is my life.
Ah.
Oh my god.
All right. Well, we'll start with one.
Okay.
Mega Monster Munchie Roast Beef. Where
this is
the-
a snack.
Yeah, these are all snacks.
Okay.
They're just.
No, that's a drinking.
I'll
boy
give you
sketch.
one clue. They're not from the U.S.
Okay. Okay. Mega crunchy something or other roast beef. I mean, roast beef. I'm gonna have to like just go out on a limb and say like England, Wales.
Yep, it is from England.
Yes,
Nice.
they love roast beef,
Bro, Jay
and
knows the
Americans
snacks.
don't like it as much,
That's
but
fair.
they do like it.
Okay.
All right, next one is Haribo jelly beans.
Jelly beans. You know, the thing about like candy is people always rave about like crazy candy from Japan. So I'm gonna go ahead and say Japan.
No, it is not. It is from Germany.
Horrible country. I don't even know why you brought it up.
Wow.
I'm assuming you have a giant following in Germany that's just going to have an uprising. I
Absolutely.
probably just started a war.
Not for
Yep,
this
yep.
podcast. Maybe our other one.
Maybe the other podcast. I'm kidding.
Okay.
Germany, love you. Can't wait to come visit. I've only flown through, and I got hammered in the airport.
Best place. Well, I mean beer.
Here's the best place.
Best.
Oh, they had absinthe, and of course it's like, well, let's try that.
In the airport?
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, all we got in England was roast beef. It was pretty shitty. I know what I didn't have is I didn't have any jelly beans.
Well, I feel like they'd have to be.
I mean,
soaked
that I
in
remember.
Alcohol. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right.
It could have been. It could
I
have been.
probably swam in a bucket of jelly beans. I just don't remember.
Oh.
All right. So next one is Evelyn Toffix strawberries.
Say that one more time.
Evelyn Toffix strawberries.
Hey, I'm going to Google to
Strawberries.
correct him.
Nope. Strawberries. Because you have to imagine, like, we in the United States take for granted how much access we have to just every single different type of food.
Right.
Not that, like, most of the first world countries don't, but, like, we do. So for someone to specialize in strawberries, where are the strawberries coming from?
David's trying to Google it. He's gonna mess up the translation.
No, I got it
No?
immediately.
Oh, Yeah, did you?
France. I know I'm hedging this, but I want to say like France, but I'm kind of leaning towards Spain. But I'm gonna go with France.
Neither are right. It is Turkish.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Have you guys ever had a Turkish delight?
I have not.
Do it. Just give it a try.
I have had like what is apparently cheap knockoff Turkish delight, and I'm supposed to try the real stuff.
Everything from like the Levant to like old Mesopotamia to like world Constantinople, Mediterranean, that whole area.
Mm-hmm.
The food that comes from there, like I actually used to want to do my own hot sauce company.
Oh, nice.
Hot sauce is not as ludicrous. It's not a good word. It's not as
Lucrative.
lucrative. There we go. Thank you. It's not as lucrative as meat sticks.
Right.
But like I wanted to take a spice called Baharat, and I took Baharat and I mixed it with serrano pepper. And Baharat is a Middle Eastern spice mix. So
Nice.
good. Like if you listen to anything from the 4th version of this podcast, go get some Baharat and try it on some chicken or some pork. Anyway,
You
all right,
miscount.
sorry.
We're on the 5th one. We're on the
5th
5th
one.
one.
Sorry.
All right. Next one is Nagshim Banana Kick. I want to go ahead.
Uruguay.
Uruguay? Nope. South Korea.
Okay. All right.
How did you pronounce that?
Nagshim Banana Kick.
I'm just
Well, let's go to the
googling.
judge
Yeah,
and
look,
see.
Let's
if
get
he
Google
pronounced it correctly.
Translate to fix this. Translate, I'm guessing, David.
Like, we have to fact check everything you say after the whole Danica Patrick
Right?
escapade we had.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, Nongshim.
Danica
Yeah.
Kirkpatrick.
All right, Nongshim. But all right, yeah.
Young.
Continue.
Oh, I'm allowed to go on.
Correct. I'm just
Okay.
fact checking you.
Kuramochi hot chili chips.
China.
Japan.
Because mochi, right?
Yep.
That's how I knew it.
Same.
Yeah.
That's the first one of these I went, I think I know the answer.
Yeah, I
I
would have
did
gotten
detail.
none of these right.
I did detail how small of a town I came from.
Yeah,
Don't
fair.
worry. Yeah,
All right,
I'd have been slightly bigger than yours, but I probably came to an equal size.
Good old Williston, North Dakota.
Yep. Before the oil boom.
Yeah. All
Now
right.
it's crap hole and never move there.
Okay.
Yeah, North Dakota, I agree.
How many more you got,
Alright.
Kyle?
That's it.
Oh, that was all of them?
I
Yeah, I
did
did-
poorly.
You did equal to me, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's fine. You got one.
you did get one. Yeah. That's. I'm not gonna calculate your grade because again, that's just too much work. But you did fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you did. Average American schooling. So.
Yep. A bunch of these
Real
snacks-
American genius.
We'll round you
Here's
up
to
to a
you,
D so you
footlong
can
hot
still
log man.
graduate.
Right. Yeah. Oh God.
And a bunch of these snacks come in snack boxes. International.
Oh yeah. And that's kind of something I've been wondering. Should I get into a little bit of a snack box game? We'll see. I don't know.
Be interesting. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This has been a ton of fun.
Yeah, this was fun.
I
Thank you,
appreciate you,
gentlemen.
even
I'm
with
sorry
all
I
the-
insulted all of you in different ways. I think
I
the only
mean-
person I didn't insult was Jake, and that's just because he's the most positive person I've met all year.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
He has you
Very
so
positive all the
fooled.
time.
I'm gonna get off the podcast. He's just like,
Yeah, but it'll be
Absolutely.
towards me, not you, so it's fine.
well, yeah.
Yeah, he just gets mad
Well,
at me.
this was great. If you guys need anything, let me know.
Oh, don't.
Just on like find me on LinkedIn, network with me. Like, just I'm just a real guy trying to do some stuff before I kick the bucket.
Oh yeah, LinkedIn exists. Well, thank you again for coming on. We greatly appreciate it. Do you want to go ahead and plug again where everyone can find you and find Dauntless Snacks and order
Yeah.
themselves 100 meat sticks? Really?
I'm sorry.
No,
All
don't
right,
worry.
line.
Classic.
If you want to find our snack sticks, go to www.dauntlesssnacks.com. There are 3 S's in the middle because I'm going to have a secret mascot that is a snake, and I'm going to do a skit about this because somebody already gave me shit about it, and I was like, I don't care, it's going to be funny. But dauntlesssnacks.com, and you can find all of our snacks there. You can also find Dauntless Snacks on Twitch, and Yeah, it's as simple as that. Use coupon code. Well, let's make one for you guys.
Oh, yeah?
Specifically for this podcast.
Hell yeah.
We're going to say Let's Play Death Ray is a coupon code now. I just need to make sure that that's true, or else I'm going to be a liar.
Damn, I've already ordered my snacks.
Ha.
Did you?
Good.
I didn't hear anything go off. Oh, damn. Nice.
Damn it. Could have used a coupon.
This is what you get, Kyle.
All right. Let's play.
fucking
No
assholes.
apostrophe. Let's play Death Ray.
Awesome.
And that'll get you 1% off.
Nice.
No.
There you go.
It'll be
Perfect.
1%.
Let's
I don't know,
play.
it should be
Death Ray.
1%.
It should be 1%.
That's what we deserve.
Well, I was trying to see if I could actually make it more expensive.
That's fair.
But-
That's fair.
Oh.
That's awesome. Thank you so
Jake
much.
liked that one. I knew
Oh,
Jake was gonna like
absolutely.
that one.
Yeah.
It's 10% more.
Jake, I want you to come over to my stream and just like be in the corner, and I want you to like be like my sidekick, like like late night shows have.
Yeah.
And just love everything.
It is his one talent.
I think I'd be great at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could be the Andy Richter to your Conan.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love it.
God.
I love it. Oh my God. Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate everyone for being here, and we will see you again next time. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. We hope you enjoyed. We appreciate all the continued support. And as always, make sure to click that subscribe button. Click the bell icon so you don't miss any of our upcoming content. And if you have any content creators that you'd like to see us bring on the show, tag them down below. We'll see you next time.